Nigeria. He says he's going to sell the girls as child brides. Here's Francis D'Souza now with today's chilling statements. Francis.
And Gord, it's very possible many of these innocent schoolgirls have already been shipped out to neighboring countries like Cameroon and Chad. And the man behind the mass kidnapping has promised a grim fate. I abducted your girls, he says. I will sell them in the market by Allah. There is a market for selling humans. Allah says I should sell. He commands me to sell. I will sell women. Rambling, horrifying words and a perverted justification. The leader of the terrorist group Boko Haram threatens to make slaves out of the more than 230 Nigerian schoolgirls they kidnapped. Western education should end. Girls, you should go and get married. Boko Haram means Western education is sinful. Over the weekend, 8 more girls were snatched. The majority were kidnapped in the dead of night during a fiery attack on their schoolhouse 3 weeks ago. Nigeria's First Lady, Patience Jonathan, broke down in tears while speaking about the missing. Protests continue in Nigeria, with many accusing the government of doing little or nothing to find the girls. Pressure is mounting to put an end to Boko Haram's growing reign of terror. The group, which reportedly receives some financial help and training from Al-Qaeda, has killed thousands of people since 2009 in attacks on buses, churches, mosques, and villages. International outrage is growing, including in Washington. The Obama administration is offering to help search for the girls and has already started sharing intelligence with Nigerian officials.
The president has directed that we and the Secretary and the State Department do everything we can to help the Nigerian government find and free these young women.
And President Obama called the abductions heartbreaking and outrageous and says his thoughts are with their parents. Now, the hashtag #BringBackOurGirls has been trending worldwide on Twitter. Gord.
All right, Francis, thank you. In the meantime, Toronto's Nigerian community is mobilizing. Adrian Gabriel with the local calls to bring the girls home.
These kids can be my own kids. It touches my heart. It saddens me, believe me, every day. I'm emotional.
Those emotions boiling over for Ayu Alabi, president of a Nigerian association here in Toronto. Baffled how more than 200 girls from his native country can vanish in the middle of the night.
I mean, we're not talking about 5 kids. We're talking about 234 children. How can they be moved and without nobody knowing about it?
It's a troubling question. Now, with assistance finally headed to Nigeria, action has already been mobilized here in the streets of Toronto, with a protest in Dundas Square and a promise of more to come. African Women Acting rallied at Dundas Square Sunday. Native Nigerian organizer Sonia Adua was among them. When you hear these girls could be sold to the sex trade?
It's anger. Do we not have leaders? How are they able to take over the country and take over Nigerian women, the womanhood in this way?
Odua grew up along the African nation's southern coast, with the girls now missing for weeks and still no answers.
A huge sense of sadness and hopelessness, and we're just asking what is going to happen to these girls.
Calls for justice also coming from the Raptors GM, who was born in Nigeria, not far from where the abductions took place.
It's an absolute atrocity. For what is going on there, it's something that I think the whole world has to look at.
The hashtag #BringBackOurGirls has been trending on Twitter. Just one of the many to take to social media, actor Forrest Whitaker tweeted, "They've broken our hearts, our will to bring our girls back. If you can speak, give them a voice. If you can act, you must."
It touches everybody. It could be me as well. I could be there. It could be one of the teachers sleeping there. It could happen to me.
Now, the calls for justice will continue this weekend in Toronto. The group African Women Acting have another rally planned here in the square for Saturday at 6 p.m. Live at Yonge and Dundas, I'm Adrian Gabriel. Gord, let's send it back upstairs to you.
Okay, Adrian, thank you. He's a convicted pedophile with a ton of affront.